Last week, my friend and I made plans to go out for a meal together. I arrived at the place. I found a seat. I ordered a drink and waited for her. Then my phone buzzed, and she sent me a message. "I am busy today. Let us do it another time." And there was no real explanation, and no proper apology. This was not the first time either. I had been through this too many times already. She made plans, then canceled. Made plans again, then canceled again. It kept happening over and over, and I still believed her. I still showed up. I still sat there waiting. That time, I sat alone in the middle of the restaurant, looking around at a room full of strangers, not knowing whether I should keep ordering food or just get up and leave. In my head, I told myself, forget it. Maybe she really is busy. Do not overthink it. But deep down, I felt really sad. And I did not even know who to talk to. And maybe you have been in a situation like mine too, where someone keeps taking you for granted, keeps breaking their promises, or makes you feel like you are not important enough, but you still cannot figure out whether that person is good or bad, or whether you should stay away from them. Then in today's video, I will help you recognize the toxic types of people who are quietly damaging your emotions and your trust, little by little, every single day. And the first type of person I want to talk about is the promise breaker. Number 1. The promise breaker. Going back to the story about my friend from earlier, after that message, I was not angry. I just told myself, forget it. Maybe she is busy. We can do it another time. But the next time was no different, and the time after that was the same. The reason changed every time, but the result was always the same. I waited, and she did not show up. Little by little, I realized I was not angry anymore. I just stopped expecting anything. Every time she made plans with me, I nodded. But in my head, I was already preparing for her to cancel again. It sounds normal, but actually, that was the moment I was slowly losing something much more important. In psychology, there is a concept called intermittent reinforcement. It means that when someone sometimes keeps their word and sometimes breaks it unpredictably, your brain can become even more attached than when they are always good to you. Because the human brain is naturally drawn to uncertainty, just like people keep pulling the lever on a slot machine even though they know they might lose. You do not trust them because they are good. You trust them because you are hoping this time will be different. But over time, what builds up is not hope. It is a different mental state called learned helplessness. You start getting used to being disappointed, to the point where you no longer expect anything from anyone. Not just from that person, but from everyone around you. You become more guarded, less willing to open up, and you do not understand why you have changed this way. That is the most dangerous thing about promise breakers. They do not just break their promises to you. They slowly break your ability to trust other people. So do not wait until the 10th time to realize it. Someone who truly values you will keep their word. They may not be perfect all the time, but they will try. But if breaking promises has become their habit, then it is not because of circumstances. It is how they are choosing to treat you. Number 2, the person who constantly creates drama. In life, there is a type of person for whom peace seems like a luxury. For example, you may have a friend like this. This week, they have a conflict with a coworker. Next week, they argue with a family member. And the week after that, there is some unbelievable emotional crisis. Or they come to you with extremely long messages or midnight phone calls, making you put everything aside just to listen and help them figure things out. But the strange thing is, after hours of heartfelt advice, everything stays exactly the same. They do not change. They are still waiting for a new crisis, so they can keep telling the story. These people are not really looking for solutions. What they are looking for is an audience and an emotional dumping ground. To them, tragedy is a way to get attention and care. When you spend time listening, they unload all their emotional garbage onto your shoulders so they can feel relieved, while you walk away feeling tired and drained. They do not care that you have your own pressures too, because in their world, their pain is always the center and always the most important thing. On top of that, the danger of this type of person often comes from quiet emotional erosion. Your peaceful life slowly gets pulled into the chaos of their problems, making you feel anxious on someone else's behalf all the time. The clearest sign is your body's natural reaction. Every time you see their name appear on your phone screen, instead of feeling happy, you unconsciously sigh and feel pressure before you even answer. That is no longer sharing between friends. That is emotional overload. So, remember this. Helping someone in a difficult time is kindness, but letting yourself get pulled into endless tragic drama is self-punishment. You can give them advice, but do not lend them your life as a stage for their never-ending drama. Stepping away from these negative cycles is the only way to protect your own energy and clarity. Number 3. The selfish person. When you spend enough time around a selfish person, you will realize that every conversation revolves around only one person, them. For example, you have just finished sharing something sad, and they immediately cut you off. Yeah, but listen. Let me tell you what happened to me. Or you have good news you want to share, but they barely listen before turning the conversation back to themselves. Or when you need help with something important, they are busy. But the next day, when they need your help, your phone keeps ringing nonstop until you finally answer. At first, you do not pay much attention to it. You think it is just their personality, that they just talk like that. But over time, you realize this relationship only goes one way. You give, they take. You listen, they talk. When you need them, they are absent. When they need you, you are expected to show up. In psychology, this type of person often tends to lack empathy, meaning they do not truly feel or understand other people's emotions and needs. It is not always because they are evil. It is because in their world, their own needs always come first. Everything they do is calculated based on one question: what is in it for me? If there is something to gain, they are there. If not, they disappear. The most dangerous part is that you slowly start to feel invisible in your own relationship. You begin to make yourself smaller. You do not dare to share your stories because you know they are not really listening. You do not dare to ask for help because you know they will have a reason to say no. Day by day, you keep giving more than you receive, until you are completely drained and do not even understand why. So remember, a healthy relationship means two people care about each other. It does not have to be perfect, but it does have to go both ways. If you are always the one listening but never the one being heard, always the one helping but never the one being helped, then that is not friendship. That is just you serving someone. Number 4. The fake friend. If the selfish person takes away your time, the fake friend takes away your trust and sense of safety. This is the type of person with an incredible talent for acting. In front of you, they are always your biggest supporter, the one with the brightest smile, and the one who gives you the sweetest compliments. They create a false feeling that you have found a soulmate, someone trustworthy enough for you to open your heart to, share your deepest secrets with, and reveal the hidden corners of your life. But the tragedy often happens the moment you turn your back. Those stories become something they twist, exaggerate, and gossip about with other people. At their core, this type of person treats relationships like a political card. They are nice to you not because they truly value you as a person, but because acting close to you gives them some kind of benefit, or simply gives them more material for their gossip. On top of that, what they share with you and what they say about you to others are two completely different worlds. This kind of hurt often cuts the deepest, because it comes from someone you once trusted completely. It makes you start doubting your own ability to judge people. When you are around a fake friend, you live with a kind of vague uneasiness. Your instincts may have already noticed the warning signs, but because they are so smooth and convincing, you talk yourself into believing that you are overthinking or being too suspicious. However, the truth often shows up in small details. For example, they often put other people down when talking to you. They seem pleased when someone fails, or they disappear when you are truly in trouble and need someone to protect your reputation. So if you start feeling like you have to carefully choose every word before telling them something important, or you sense an invisible distance even though the two of you seem close, that is your intuition warning you. Never trade your peace for an empty shell relationship. A real friend protects your name even when you are not in the room. They do not turn your secrets into weapons to hurt you behind your back. Number 5. The manipulator. A manipulator will make you doubt your own sanity. This is the type of person who is a master at twisting black into white. For example, they clearly do something wrong. You call them out. But after just 10 minutes of talking, you somehow become the one apologizing and feeling like you are the terrible, narrow-minded person. They never admit fault. Instead, they use lines like, "You are being too sensitive again. I was just joking. Why are you making such a big deal out of it?" Or, "If you had not done that, I would not have treated you that way." At their core, manipulators want to control you by distorting the truth. They make you believe that your feelings are wrong, your memory is unreliable, and what you saw is not what really happened. Little by little, you lose the ability to trust your own instincts. You start living in a constant state of questioning yourself. Am I actually wrong? Am I being too much? Their final goal is to make you feel inferior and guilty, so you become completely dependent on their guidance and judgment. And this type of person often hides behind beautiful-sounding excuses like, "I only say this because I love you," or "I just want what is best for you." For example, when they control your phone, they say it is because they care and are worried. When they belittle your success, they say it is so you do not become arrogant. This kind of damage does not leave scars on your skin, but it destroys your self-worth from the inside, turning you into a weak shadow of yourself, always afraid that you are doing something wrong. One sign that you are being manipulated is the confusion you feel after every conversation. If you often find yourself explaining or apologizing for things you did not do wrong, or you feel like you are no longer the person you used to be, confident and decisive, then you may be caught in a manipulator's control. So wake yourself up. Your feelings are real, and someone who truly loves you will never try to make you feel crazy or guilty just so they can win. To wrap up, toxic people are the ones who always find ways to damage your emotions and your trust, making you feel pressured and torn inside all the time. Instead of growing together with you, they pull you into problems, selfishness, and lies, until you slowly lose yourself. So never hope that your patience or kindness will make them change, because that only gives them another chance to wear you down again. It is time for you to stay clear-headed and see who truly values you. Walking away from people who only bring negativity is the best way to protect your peace and start living a more comfortable, freer life. If you still have any questions about psychological issues, feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments section. We will decode them together in the next videos. Goodbye, and see you again.